You are listening to Visionaries Wrestling Network, providing your perfect podcast experience.
Okay, this is the MCW Chaos in Culpepper review from November 2nd, 2019 at Eastview High School in Culpepper. Doors opened at 5:30 and bell time was 7 p.m. Alright, what do you remember about the ride there, JJ? We got a full crowd today. We got JJ joining us as well.
There's a fire on the way and there's a lot of smoke.
There was? And we still don't know what it was.
Yeah.
We have no idea what it was.
I saw part of it.
We were driving along, and there was just like regular-looking truck behind us, and then later the lights turn on, and it's like a whole police truck, and then we think that they're trying to pull that over, but they just zoomed past him.
Well, we were talking about the smoke, and I was kind of confused, and we were trying to say, what is that? And I was like, did I just lose track of the speed? And I was like, it's possible. Like, if this is a 45, I might be going 50 or something. Like on country roads, like in that, the local sheriff will pull you over for stuff like that. And no, he just went straight past me, so it was fine. But we assume he was going, he must have got something on his radio that said, hey, look, there's a fire, and we assume he was reporting for that. We got a classic line from Jay while we're driving there as well. When somebody whispers the whole song, I know it's Billie Eilish. I love that. You're right. You know Billie Eilish songs, and I thought that was pretty funny that you recognise that. We actually went to Culpepper not that long ago. We went to the air show. We went a slightly different route this time, because last time we went there was a lot of traffic on 95, so we went a slightly different way. And yeah, I actually managed to remember to get change this time as well. When we stopped to get gas in Fredericksburg, I remember to buy some Tic Tacs from Wawa. So you give them a $20 note, and then you buy, I normally need Tic Tacs at some point, and then you get like $18, $19 in change. So I don't think in the end we actually needed the change. But anyway, it's always good to have some of that. I'm trying to learn and not give the independent wrestler a $20 bill straight away, and it's like, oh, let me go get change. And yeah, when we turned into the high school, there was a good crowd there already.
Yeah.
It was kind of impressive. We only got there at, I think about 6:45, somewhere around that time. We went to find our seats. They were bleacher seats. We had bleacher seats. So they were kind of like the ones that we have at the school that I go to. And yeah, we sat right in the center so we could see. We knew one of the reasons we wanted to go to this one, although it's Maryland Championship Wrestling, this was in Virginia. I still not quite sure why they did that, but anyway. One of the reasons we wanted to go was Swoggle was there. JJ keeps getting little gifts from Swoggle, like we got you an autograph, we got you a pin, and we thought you'd like to finally go see him. And we got there, and then JJ's like, no, I'm okay. Alright, I guess so. So we just sat for 10-15 minutes while we waited for it to start, and that takes us into match one. Match one is The Sickness versus Joe Keys. Joe Keys was a face in this one. That kind of surprised me. Last time you were with me, JJ, when we went to Classic Pro Wrestling, he faced Robbie! And Robbie was obviously a face, and Joe Keys was a heel. And it was a reverse in this one. Sickness was a heel, and Joe Keys was the face for this one. Now, there was actually a Classic Pro Wrestling event on in Fredericksburg on this day. And that was one I was wanting to go to, and nearly did. It had an all-female card. It was 21 plus, though, so you guys couldn't go. So I was like, that's fine. I'll not go. We'll go see Swoggle instead.
Couldn't I give them my driver's license?
I don't think that one's a legal driver's license. I don't think that one would really work.
We got one from Legoland.
Now, I knew who Joe Keys was because we've seen him several times. I didn't know who The Sickness was, so I went and looked him up. We haven't been to him. This is our first time at MCW this year. I was kind of shocked. We went to the one on January, in your birthday, on 2018, and then we went to one in Hollywood, which was around probably April time. It's been like 18 months since we went, so it's been a long time. Sickness is one of their regular wrestlers now. I didn't recognize him. I found him on YouTube. He did an interview like, I wish I could say the name. Marshawn Lynch, I think that's his name.
Oh,
the guy who's the Seattle, he used to be for the Seahawks. I can't remember who he's with now.
Running back?
Yeah, is he Raiders now? He might have even retired now, I'm not sure. Do you remember his interviews where he didn't used to really say anything?
Oh, yeah.
Or he used to go like, next question. Or it was a pleasure to be here.
Or was that Odell that just says, I'm only here so I don't get fined?
That was, yeah, it's kind of like that. Sickness is pretty much like that. It showed you an interview and the person's asking him a question, didn't say anything. And they're like, well, how do you think the match went? Nothing. So, are you looking forward for your next opponent? Nothing. That was a whole YouTube video. That was put out as an interview. I was like, oh, okay. What else have I got here? From 8 months ago, there's also an interview with Sean Cannon, and he says, you know why they call him Sickness, right? Everything he touches dies. Like, woo! And then there's a character change. So this was the video on February 23rd when it was just Sickness. And then afterwards, he had marks on his face. And it was like lines and that. And it looked really cool, his old gimmick. I kind of like that. You can also find the MCW Sickness theme as well. It's on YouTube. So we might have to add that to our playlist as well. I was kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting them to have the indie songs on YouTube. So I don't know if they specifically wrote it for him. Now, I'm not sure. Did Sickness talk in this match? Because
yes,
all the clips.
he did.
Okay, so his character's obviously changed a little bit. There's a few people like Ciampa. Remember, he didn't talk for a while, and then he did. On NWA, which you're not really watching right now, there's a character there who hasn't talked in 5 episodes. They keep going for interviews, and she doesn't say anything.
Orange Cassidy?
So I guess he doesn't talk much, but he kind of talks a little bit. All right, what do you remember about this match, JJ? JJ had notes, and he lost them, unfortunately. So, can you remember anything from this match, JJ?
No.
The thing I remember that JJ had, you asked me, how do you spell kick? And I told you Kick. And then I looked in like a minute later, and you wrote that he kicked him in the back. I remember you wrote that down, because you're doing some good spelling now. You're actually learning how to spell a little bit. All right, Mason, tell us about the match then.
I have something before the match.
Oh, go ahead.
It was the same announcer from Fight Club.
It was, yes, yeah.
And I was the only one rooting for the Sickness.
Well, that's because he was the heel.
Yeah, I liked him better than Joe Keys.
Uh-huh.
So Joe Key, he flips Sickness over the top 2 times, and then a baseball slide into Sickness on the inside to the outside. And Joe Keys misses the dive, and Joe, he tangoed Stickman.
All right, so what does tangoed mean? Because you didn't know that one before. This is the one where you got very confused last time I talked about it. So what does tangoed mean then?
Like, it was like a dance.
They did a dance in the ring.
I don't know.
So your notes don't mean anything. This episode nearly didn't get recorded. This is Friday right now. We were supposed to record it on like Monday or Tuesday. That might be one of the reasons why you'd want to record it earlier in the week. Tangoed is a thing in England where you get the arms and you clap them over the ears, and you get them instead of clapping your hands.
I forgot.
You get them over the ears.
And I was
no,
about
they
to
did not
say-
do a tango dance. No.
I was about to say the T for like what they say, like tango and stick to stick. And Joe Keys wins with a backslide.
With a backslide. All right, match 2. AK, Robbie, and Sidney Porter versus Dezmon King, Ivan Ali, and Darron the Artiste. I mentioned to Ivan Ali on Facebook, we were very excited when we saw he'd appeared in this match, because Jay's a big fan of Ivan Ali from when you saw him at Crab Wrestling. Sidney Porter, I didn't recognise at the time. We've talked about him before, because it sounds like Sidney Poitier, who was an actor, and I know you didn't know who that was at the time. All right, let's see what I got for this one. A tribute to the legends. There was a best 2 out of 3 falls match. This is from last month. The Saviors, Eric Martin and John Schuyler, defeated Bobby and Robbie. Bobby was fighting at Primal Conflict, which is why it was on the same night as this event. That's why we didn't see him, but Robbie obviously was there. Now, I'm wondering if Mason's going to chime in on the Saviors, Eric Martin and John Schuyler.
John Schuyler? No.
Okay, John Schuyler we saw at Nova Pro a couple of times.
Oh, I thought, wait, was that the woman that we were supposed to see?
John Schuyler?
No, that was
John.
Schuyler.
Actually, no, I do want to edit this. You're right, Schuyler was the female. You're right, no, but John Schuyler, no, we saw him a few times at Nova Pro. He had matches with Warhorse, I remember that. You didn't pick up classic Eric Martin then. Wow, last week's
DCW.
Last week's review at DCW, correct. So that was the reason why I picked that one out. Also, I got some quotes here. There was an exciting night of action Saturday when Pure Pro Wrestling, PPW, put on an SPCA fundraiser at the Chatham Volunteer Fire Department. This is the 3rd event where Pittsylvania County SPCA has benefited from working with PPW. Ivan Ali from Big Money Inc. held on to the Southeastern title in a hard-hitting lumberjack match against Crash Cassidy. So that was the reason why I mentioned that. I was looking up things for Ivan Ali. And the other reason I talked about this one as well is they're doing a fundraiser. This was a fundraiser, which kind of answered the question, why were they actually there? And it said at the original event, there was bidding for a t-shirt, and the funds went towards, they did a 50-50. Now, I actually mentioned that because you didn't know what a 50-50 raffle was, Mason. You thought a 50-50 raffle meant you had a 50% chance of winning.
No,
Yes,
no, I
you
didn't.
did.
No, that's what they want you to think.
No, I don't think anybody thinks that.
I don't.
You split the money. Well, the final amount was $271, and I was like, oh, and the charity got $271. And you're like, they did? Like, that's what it is, a 50-50. It splits it in half. One person wins half the money and one person wins the other. Now, the other surprising thing for this one for me, Dezmon was heel. When we've seen him at Crab, he's been a face. And Darron the Artiste was also a heel as well, where he's normally a face. And I got a heel cat right next to me as well, who just loves to get into a podcast. Hey, careful, that's my arm, silly. All right, do you remember anything about this match at all, JJ? No? I got one last thing. The match that you saw with Ivan Ali against, it was Freddie Flamingo when we saw him at Crab Wrestling.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube.
Wow.
I can see you on the video, JJ. We might have to watch it at some point, because we were front row, if you remember. So you might want to watch that match again, so we can actually watch that one, okay?
Free.
Yep. All right, what do you got, Mason?
Sydney, he wanted AK. He tried for to do a poetry in motion, but instead Sydney just jumped off the top rope and it looked bad. It looked like he was just crouching down for no reason. And Sydney, he ducks, so Ivan, he elbows both of his partners, and Sydney Porter wins with the elbow off the top rope, and then people attacked all of three of them after the match.
Yeah, it was part of Dante's quartet. Dante, I think it's Cabalero. I always get his name mixed up a little bit. But yeah, I just realised one other thing we didn't talk about. We recognised the referee. I'm not sure if it was match 1 or match 2. Michaela Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
From Crab Wrestling, so we certainly knew her as well. Alright, match 3 was Gia Scott versus Portia. Now, I found out quite a bit about Gia Scott, actually. There was a Jakarta Post article from November 2018. It says, on first meeting Kira Scott, it's hard to imagine that the warm and polite 19-year-old makes her living from fighting, provoking, and taunting. 19? I had no idea she was that young. Gia Scott, I recognise the name because I've seen her a few times, but so this was a year ago. She only just turned 20. Like, wow. She launched her career when she was still in high school, and in less than a year has taken the title in MCW, making her the youngest champion in the division's history. Her speciality is playing the heel, or bad girl, who aims to provoke the audience. Well, that was one difference in a year, obviously, as well, because she certainly wasn't a heel in this one. Her mother died when she was 17, and it was for her that she launched herself into a new career. She said, if it wasn't for my mum, I wouldn't be here at such a young age, she said. Like, wow, that's got to be tough at 17 years old, just as you're trying to get ready to graduate high school. But she channeled all that energy and put it into wrestling, and 17 to 19, wow, that's within 2 years she'd become the MCW champion, so
Sort of like,
she's done really well.
it reminds me of MJF and Marco Stunt.
In what way?
MJF's super young and he made it to AEW, and Marco Stunt was a year and a half and he got into AEW.
Yeah, there's definitely some people who sort of really rise really quickly, and you tend to forget. Obviously, we know some people from Crab Wrestling as well, some of the younger wrestlers there as well. But yeah, really surprised me. I would not have guessed that Gia Scott was 20 years old or 19-year-olds at the time. All right, tell us about the match, Mason.
And so the second person was announced as the Black Cat.
That might be her nickname, though.
Yeah. So...
Because Portia was already in the ring for this one, because she was part of that quartet, so she just stayed in the ring. Gia Scott came out, and I think Dante Cabalero left the ring at this point as well, if I remember correctly, too.
So the team that attacked Sydney Porter's team, he grabbed the chair, and the ref was distracted, and the other one, he grabs Gia, and then Black Cat rolls her up for the win.
Now, what do you remember about this match, JJ? Because you said I had to say something to somebody after the match. Can you remember? Did she win clean? No, what did she do?
And dirty.
Yeah, she did. She was cheating. So can you remember what you told me?
That she cheated.
You did, and you told me I should tell the owner as well. So I was like, all right, I can do that. Once we got home, I actually tweeted to Phil Stamper, and I said, hey, my 5-year-old wants you to know that Portia cheated, and he wanted you to know about that. And he said, thank you for letting me know. I will look at the video. So Phil Stamper is on it, buddy. So good job in pointing out the cheating, because the ref did not see that one at all. All right, match 4, Brandon Scott versus question mark. I have no idea who Brandon Scott fought. I tried asking on Twitter. Nobody responded, so I don't really know. Now, this was another one where we had the twists. VCW, Brandon's usually a heel. He was... Oh.
Jax.
That might be some editing right there.
Nope.
And he was a face on this one, so that was a little different. Now, while I was looking for Brandon Scott, as we've seen him several times, I started looking. There's a lot of Brandon Scotts on there. It's kind of a common name. He's actually the voice on Wreck-It Ralph. I don't recognize the character. Kohoot? I didn't recognize him. He's actually the Marine from the game Hero's Duty. So I was like, oh, okay, I figured that one out. There's also a Brandon Scott who's the president of the Baltimore City Council and is a former candidate for Lieutenant Governor of Maryland. Not him either. I think it was the one, though, who won the MCW Rage Television Championship during his time with MCW Pro Wrestling, holding the title from February 2015 until December 2015. We actually saw him at AEW Dynamite as well on that first one as well. And some other things I got. In 2019, during the April 1st episode of Monday Night Raw, he teamed with local wrestler Elijah King in a 2-on-1 handicap match where he lost to Braun Strowman. Do you remember that one?
No.
I didn't even watch that. I thought you watched that one with me.
What? No.
You don't remember him losing to Braun Strowman?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. The one that I didn't know, though, was he appeared in 2006 as well in a match won by Bo Dallas. And he also appeared on a WWE main event match by Kurt Hawkins. So he's actually been on WWE 3 times as sort of like a local talent. All right. Talk to us. Do you remember anything from this match, JJ?
That Brandon won?
Yeah. Yeah, you think Brandon won? All right. Tell us, Mason, what happened?
So Ashton Gregory, I think, was the guy.
Oh, okay. You had the name?
I
Okay.
think so. So there's a great combo by Ashton, and he kicks out of the flipping neck breaker, and Ashton misses the Starship Pain, and then Brandon Scott takes the win with the neck breaker.
Okay. And yeah, I don't have anything for this match at all, but I do know it led straight into the intermission, which I was really surprised about. This match had only been going on for 15 minutes. I was like, whoa. And then we're having a 15-minute intermission already. I was like, wow. They said it went on until 9:30, so I'm like, of course, the math person in me starts working out. I'm like, that's an hour and 25 minutes for the second half. So I was kind of surprised about that one. This point, Jay decided he did want to meet Swoggle. So we went down to Swoggle. You got your picture taken with Swoggle, and you got a nice autograph as well, didn't you? Now, the other people didn't come out. Billy Gunn was one of the people. Melina was one of the other people. In fact, Billy Gunn didn't come out until there was less than 5 minutes left. That made me think, I think there was supposed to be one more match. I think something happened, and either that match wasn't ready, somebody didn't show. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, if you're doing your meet and greets, you wouldn't come out with only 5 minutes to go in a 15-minute segment, I don't think. I thought it was a pretty good deal on combos. Three for $50. You could get a picture with and an autograph from Billy Gunn, Swoggle, and Melina. Now, when we went to VCW, it was $50 just for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So the fact you get 3 people there, I thought that was a pretty good deal. I didn't actually want Melina's at this point, because I didn't actually remember her from WWE. I knew she was a diva, but I don't remember her wrestling at all.
Sort of.
So it was kind of like, it would be the Billy Gunn one, but anyway. So we just got the Swoggle one, because that's who Jay wanted to see. And that took us into match 5. Match 5 after the intermission was Breaux and Dane Boo Smith versus Rush Hour, who is Deion Epps and Tommy Seto. Now, earlier in the day, we actually saw a poster that mentioned Breaux was going to be on there. I saw him tweet something. I was like, oh, you're going to be there? I was like, I hope you're not going to be a heel, because we saw Isaiah Frazier as a heel recently, and I was like, I still booed him, but it just didn't feel right. He didn't respond, and I guess that should have been obvious that meant he was going to be a heel for this one. They also spelt his name wrong on the promotional poster as well. They put Braux, B-R-A-U-X. They missed the E out. And, yeah, Jackson, what do you remember about this match? What do you remember about Bro's match? We were cheering for Breaux, right?
No.
What?
Somebody in the other team followed the post that Bro's tag team partner did.
Uh-huh. So what were you doing to Daddy while we were watching this match?
Stopping you to clap them for Bro.
I was trying to do Bro's clap, because I was trying to do the... And you kept grabbing my hands and wouldn't let me do it. Now, we knew Breaux was going to be a heel pretty quickly, because as he came out with his full energy again, and then he goes puts his hands out for the kids like he does his high fives, and then as soon as the kids got near, he pulled his hands away. It's like, oh no. I was like, bro. So almost every match, what we expected them, or what we were used to being their main character, flipped. It was exactly the opposite. Now, I've seen Dame. I think it's Dame. I think it's pronounced Dame. Dame. I've seen him at Crowd Wrestling as well. I think I've seen him play a heel on that one. So I kind of knew who he was as well. And I don't think I have anything else for this match. All right, talk to us about this match then, Mason.
So there's a lot of butts getting smacked.
Do you remember that, JJ? I'm surprised that's not a fact that JJ would have remembered. That sounds more like a JJ note for this one. All right.
I didn't even see it.
I didn't see that either.
And Epps, he super kicks and wins.
Great detail. That's it. We got one move. You got the finishing move. So they smacked each other's butts and then they did a super
He
kick.
stole mine.
That was it.
He stole it.
What did he steal?
That they were copying each other's poses.
Oh, okay.
No. So, Brown's tag team partner did a pose, but he did the same one.
He did the same one. Alright, match 6. Swoggle unfortunately wasn't wrestling, which I know you were disappointed by, Jay. Swoggle was what? Why was Swoggle there for this one? Can you remember?
A ref!
He was the guest ref for Aria Palmer and Melina. So Melina's a 5 times women's champion at WWE. On Saturday, October 5th, Renee Michelle had returned to MCW at Tribute to the Legends. She took on MCW women's champion Aria Palmer in a triple threat match, which also featured Gia Scott. Renee was supposed to feature at that Fredericksburg event as well, Mason, we talked about, but she was unable to make it. And actually at that event, Renee Michelle did actually win the MCW title. I think she's the current women's champion. I don't think she's lost that since. Aria Palmer, very difficult to find on Twitter. Her Twitter account is protected. I asked if I can follow her. I'm still waiting back. She only has 18 tweets, though, since 2014. So that's 3 a year. So that's probably pointless following her, actually. After I'd followed her, I was like, oh, that was kind of pointless. I don't even care if she accepts or not. But yeah, very difficult to find anything on her at all. Melina's obviously much better known, but I was looking more for the other character. I think people know Melina with her being in WWE probably better than we do. Alright, talk to us about this one then, Mason. Oh, what about you, JJ? Do you remember anything that Swoggle did in this match? This might
He
be more.
took a chair to get up.
He did. He had to take because he can't get into the ring, can he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's so short.
He did. He had to go. Wasn't it the security guy's chair? I think it was the security guy. He got him to stand up, took a chair so he could stand on, and then climbed in. He could only just climb into the ring even then, right? JJ's pointing to his neck. So, yeah. So, was Swoggle...
I think that's how tall he is.
Was Swoggle smaller than you then? Because we saw him
was.
when he was on a chair, so he didn't stand up when you were near him. So, do you think you're taller or smaller than Swoggle?
Taller.
You think you're taller? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure
I'm
how...
just a little bit taller.
I'm not sure how...
I'm just a little bit taller than him.
Well, that was also a year and a half ago when you first met him, or nearly 2 years ago, so I don't know. All right, do you remember anything else Swoggle did in this one, Jay?
That would be taller than Hornswoggle.
All right, Mason, go ahead, take it away.
So when one of them gets pinned, Swoggle yells, "Oh my God, it's my turn!"
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
He was surprised that it's his turn to count.
Oh, okay, I got you. Because he's not used to being a ref.
Yeah.
I got you.
And Aria fake knee. She does a fake injury, knee injury, and then Melina and Swoggle mock her.
Yep, playing possum.
And Melina's she's wearing a.
Oh, I remember you saying that now. Yeah.
Swoggle, he bites Aria's bottom.
He did?
Yeah.
I guess I'd forgotten
And
that
then-
one. I've seen him do that before though. Yeah.
And then that was because she pushed him 2 times.
Oh, yeah.
And Melina does the splits on Aria for the win.
Yep. I think that was how she came in. When she entered the ring, didn't she come in through the bottom rope?
Yeah, she did
normally
the
you'd sort of
splits.
climb through, but yeah, she did the splits and then just kind of rolled through, which was kind of impressive as well.
Yeah, because she did the splits and then her jacket fell off.
Alright, match 7, Culpepper street fight between Kyla Kay and Greg Excellent. I have to admit, I did not recognize this was Greg Excellent in this match. I recognized the uniform, and I was like, that looks familiar, but if you mention it to me, I didn't hear you say it, Mason, let's put it that way. I actually looked online. He has lost a lot of weight. He's on a weight loss thing right now. He's on the keto diet. He's been doing it for 18 months. So that was when we last saw him, actually. Now, I actually got rickrolled by Greg Excellent. I don't know if you know what that is. There's an artist from the 80s called Rick Astley. and he has a song called Never Gonna Give You Up. And basically you try and trick people on the internet, like, hey, click on this link, there's like a really cool video, and then you click on it and it plays that stupid song. So you try and trick people into clicking on this link so they watch this video.
Like April Fool?
Kind of like an April Fool's thing.
Oh, like you do to me. Like you say that there's a mascot outside when I was little, and I look outside and there's nothing
when you
there.
were little, sure. Kind of like that. I actually have it. There's a phone number you can have as well. So sometimes when it's a competition and they ask you to fill in your phone number, and I don't want to give them the phone number, I give them that number, and when they call it, it just plays that song. Now, I've never got to find out if anybody did that before. Actually, I did on one thing. I actually forgot I sent my email address and I put that as the phone number. And he actually emailed me back. He's like, very funny with the phone number thing. So I got one person I know he actually tried that phone number, which is kind of funny. So how did I get rickrolled by this? While researching, that's his theme tune, Never Gonna Give You Up. So I don't remember them playing it for this one. That might be an old theme tune.
It was excellent.
Yeah, it might be an old one, but I might add that to the list anyway. What I didn't know, though, was CZW. CZW Junior Heavyweight Championship 2 times, and CCW World Tag Team Champion 2 times as well. Now, he was listed as 266 pounds on Pro Wrestling. There's no way he's close to that now. His face was just so much thinner that I didn't even recognize him at all. There is actually a Kenny Johnson documentary from 2015, and I would definitely recommend that one as well. And I actually talked about that on Good Cop, Bad Cop this week. I thought it was really interesting. He was from... I'm trying to find what it's called. Oh, Groundbreaking Wrestling it was. Unfortunately, it closed in 2015, and the documentary was 2011. That's all I have, Mason. I was hoping to get some merch from him, because Groundbreaking is obviously GB. I was like, if I get GB Wrestling, I was like, great, that would be perfect. But yeah, unfortunately, no more. Anything you remember about this match, Jay? This was the street fight, so there was no rules for this one. Do you remember any of the weapons they brought in, perhaps?
Pango stick.
A what stick?
Pango stick.
A pango stick. All right, so there's a
And
pango
a trash
stick.
can.
Trash
and,
can,
chains. And a book.
And a sign.
There was a book?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember a book.
Sign?
Mace?
Yeah, it was on the safety mats.
Ah,
You
okay.
probably didn't see it.
I probably didn't. Do you remember anything about this match then?
He came up, told me to chop him. I was too scared.
He did. I knew he was going to kind of do this because he went to one kid and he's like, here, hold his arm. And then he gave him a chop. And then he came up the ramp and he did the same thing. And he actually pushed through a thing. I was like, there's only one person he's coming to. I knew he was coming to Jay straight away. And he brought him up and he's like, come on down. And Jay went down. He's like, go on, give him a chop. And you wouldn't give him a chop. I was shocked. So you came back up and I was like, go on, go down. So you went back down again and you're like, I don't want to. So anyway, the girl next to you got to do a chop. So she was very happy about it. What did you say afterwards though? Can you remember?
I wanted to kick him.
You didn't want to do a chop, but you wanted to kick him. Now, I actually talked to the cameraman a little bit on Twitter afterwards. I guess I posted something that he saw. And he's like, I really wanted your son to give him a chop. I was like, yeah, me too. I totally wanted to give him a chop, but you didn't. So anyway,
I would have loved to chop
Mason,
him.
you would have loved. You would have been straight down there.
I probably would have chopped it a little. Probably not hard, actually.
I don't
Because
know.
the wrestlers
Well,
chop
if he'd have told you to give him a proper chop,
I
you can
probably
obviously
would.
give him a proper chop.
Yeah.
But he was picking younger people. So Jay said next time he'd probably do it. I was like, Jay, I don't know if you're going to get another chance to do that, though. So
Yeah, it's not like they do that in WWE.
I don't know.
The only other time we saw that was in Crab.
Yeah, I've seen it happen like once before, but
And they let this 18-year-old chop him.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, he was much older. So anyway, Jay, so if you had another chance, would you give him a chop?
Yeah.
Alright, next time we can, so next time we know that you'll definitely do
Next
that.
time I want to sit at front row so I can just...
So you can give him Jay is mimicking a super kick. You're not giving him a super kick, it was a chop, they said. Alright, is there anything else you remember, JJ? I'm glad you remembered that, though. I'm glad we had you here so you could tell your side of the story. Alright.
There was a nasty kendo stick hit to Greg Excellent, and Greg Excellent won with a trash can cannonball.
Wow. All those weapons, and we got like a 2-line summary from Mason. I remember the first guy when he came out, and like he brought one thing out. He actually walked in, and when they went back out again,
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
brought in
Greg
all this
Excellent.
stuff. See, I didn't reckon that was the thing at the time. I couldn't remember who was who in this one because I didn't recognize that it was Greg Excellent, and I didn't recognize the fact that I'm trying to think who the other guy is. Kyler K. I've never heard of before either, so that kind of made it different. All right, match 8. The main event was Dante Cabalero versus. It was advertised.
Billy Gunn!
Billy Gunn. It was advertised
Big
as
cat.
Kip Sop, which was like really strange. Now, we talked about this as well. The fact that on the poster it said Kip Sop, but it said formerly known as Billy Gunn. But once they were in the ring, they just said Billy Gunn. They never said, I never heard them once say Kip Sop. So I don't know if for promotional reasons you can't advertise him as Billy Gunn, but once you're in the ring, no one can hear, so I guess it doesn't matter at that point. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Jay, you did actually have some notes for this one. What did you remember about Billy Gunn?
He's in D-Generation X.
He is in D-Generation X. Good job. So, although you lost your notes, I do remember that one. Go ahead, Mason. I don't actually have anything for that. I didn't bother looking up Billy Gunn because I knew that we already knew who that was. So, and Dante Cabalero. I looked up a couple of things. I didn't find anything that exciting, so go ahead.
So Billy gets well, I don't really remember too much about the match because I didn't take any notes and because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so it was 5 days ago.
Yeah,
6 days ago.
A lot have happened
Uh-huh.
because I've taken a lot of tests and a lot of quizzes.
Oh, okay.
So he gets a miss to the face, but he still wins. And I remember after the match, that same people that attacked
The earlier match, they all came out again. Dante Cabalero's double came in.
Yeah. So they attacked Billy Gunn, and then the other team came out, and they helped him, and then I got a high five from AK, and so did Jackson.
Yep.
But unfortunately, Jackson didn't get Billy Gunn because he was walking away and he wasn't tall enough anyway.
Yeah, he didn't see you.
So I moved a step forward and I got a high five.
You got a high five from it as well. Yeah. Now, actually, Jay's notes didn't say that Billy was in DX. It actually said Bile was in DX, and that's why I was kind of confident. I was like, he means Billy. That's all right. You didn't ask me. You tried to spell it. You got basically the right sounds there. I did mention the high fives thing that you got. Now, actually, I focused more on what happened actually after the match as well. So, as we were leaving, we sort of went to the bathroom because we had like an hour and a half drive back home. Yeah, you mentioned Big Cass a second ago. There was a poster on the screen that showed the event, and Big Cass, I guess, was set to appear at one point. Of course, card subject to change, right? Now, interestingly, on that card subject to change thing, that event I mentioned in Fredericksburg, I don't know if I told you all the people that didn't show. So one person apologised the day before. Tara Calloway didn't show because she was injured. Fair enough. She got injured Friday night, so couldn't make it Saturday. Perfectly okay. One of the big names didn't comment at all why they didn't show. Jordan Grace didn't show. Didn't explain. I couldn't find anything on Twitter why she didn't show. And there was one other person that didn't show as well. In fact, Ivan Ali actually turned up at that event because Mayday mentioned that. I was like, really? I was like, wow, because he was at the event that we went to. So I guess they called those from Fredericksburg. It's probably only about 40 minutes, something like that. So I guess they were short on people. They had several people who did 2 matches. And so it turned out in the end, I think they said that they actually gave all the money back. There were so many people that didn't turn up, they just gave them a free show basically in the end.
That's tough.
So hopefully they still managed to pay the wrestlers, but yeah, Mayday said under the circumstances they actually put on a good show.
So you still got your free beer?
Now that I don't know. That part I don't know. I don't know if they said, look, there's no charge today, please go and buy something from the bar. That part I don't know. But yeah, so in the end it turned out that I did pick the right one. Now, what else have I got on here? Pinned video on MCW's YouTube page. MCW Theatre of War, Episode 2. New Year's Mayhem 2018. Get the behind-the-scenes story of how New Year's Mayhem 2018 almost didn't happen. In-depth interview with Billy and Austin Gunn, and the Bruiser's personal thoughts on coming out of retirement to face Dante Cabalero. Obviously that features both those two things. We got like a documentary, Mason. I think that might be worth watching, actually. From lastwordonprowrestling.com. Such is the case with Maryland indie wrestling veteran RJ, I think it's pronounced Beyer, B-E-Y-E-R, or Bayer, best known as The Bruiser, a 22-year pro with Maryland Championship Wrestling. Do you recognize the name The Bruiser?
I recognize the Bruiser. Wait.
Bruiser was champion when you were there on your birthday.
Oh,
He was the person that fought
wait.
Greg Excellent.
Oh,
Anyway, while you're thinking about it, Bayer went to the doctor last week feeling physically down, but thought it was the usual rigors of 2+ decade career inside the ring. But what the doctors found out was much, much worse. Bayer was diagnosed with AML, which is the L stands for leukemia. He's really sick right now. He had to stop wrestling.
Oh.
They've done some fundraisers for him at MCW. Obviously a very different scene from Roman Reigns. Like, I'm sure he's got much better access to healthcare and things like that. Not sure how well he's doing right now, but yeah, that shows you how long it is since we've been. When we originally went, he was the champion, and now he's actually hopefully recovering from leukemia, I'm hoping. But yeah, certainly we wish him the best.
So this is Well, I don't know, but I wonder if WWE provided healthcare for Roman Reigns when he was.
Yeah, we
of
talked
what
about
David
that
Starr?
on that quote that we mentioned. Yeah, we're not sure. But even so, Roman Reigns gets paid a lot of money. He can certainly afford
And
his
he
own
got lots
healthcare.
of money from the fans, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure if they needed to. But yeah, I think there was a Kickstarter for this one as well, where people will chuck money in to try and help people with costs. I know they did a lot of fundraising, but yeah. Hopefully the Bruiser's doing well. I haven't seen anything recently, but hopefully he's still doing good. After that, we went to... that was it. That was the last match. We got out of there. Now, I do remember one... We got out pretty quickly. Jay, do you remember your quote from when you left?
No.
You said you can't see the smoke anymore, so the fire must have gone out. It was like 10 o'clock at night. It was pitch black. We don't know if the fire got put out. I did try looking online to see if I could find anything. I googled like Culpepper and fire. I didn't find anything that next night, so we're still not sure exactly what happened with regards to that. And one final thing as we were leaving, we got to the end. Most cars were turning right towards Culpepper. We turned to the left. You remember what the road was when we turned onto Mason? I was really surprised. Because Americans have they're very cautious with things that are very religious, and I'm really surprised they allowed Route 666. I was really surprised by that. Of all the numbers you could have chosen, they could have just skipped that and gone 667, but I was really surprised by that. That's all I got. JJ, you stayed awake for a long time. He was awake for like over an hour. We were talking about we played wrestling themes on the way back. You recognized one of them, and then as the next song came on, I was like, all right, JJ, who's this? And you were like, he's asleep. But you stayed awake for over an hour. You did a pretty good job. All right, anything else you remember, JJ? Anything else you want to talk about at this event?
So, on the way back home,
Are you back home?
I mean, on the way to the wrestling,
We're right at the end, and he's talking about the way there.
I saw, something that said orange, and it was pointing
Orange
to
County.
the right.
Oh, yeah. We were near Orange County, weren't we? Where we went to see...
Yeah.
Where we went in the
This
summer.
is-
That's right.
If
Yeah.
we would have turned on that, we would have found orange.
Uh-huh. I didn't realise that Orange was near Culpepper at the time, so yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Oh.
But yeah, we went to that event at the Orange County Fair, which was pretty cool.
There was a president born in Orange.
Oh, there was? Who?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the president that died really early. The one that didn't even go 1 month.
McKinley?
Yeah.
I think we're done. Boom.
It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye to me.
And it's goodbye from them.
Goodbye.
The music was Zigzag by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by